Hi, my name is Janvi and my preferred pronounce is she and her. So can you please introduce yourself?
Myself, Maya Avasti. My pronoun are she and her. I identify myself with trans woman. I come from Hijra background, and I am a co-CEO and co-founder of Great Foundation, organization that work for trans men, trans women across India.
So can you please tell us more about your own foundation?
So this is one of its own kind in Asia, organization where trans men, trans women both are on the board. We believe in equity because that's in a part of our name. Like TRIT is an abbreviation of Transgender Welfare, Equity and Equality Trust. So Empowerment Trust. Sorry. So since we believe in it, and we practice also. It's not like only naam mein rakhna hai. It's like not like that. So we have when this was done, the organization was formed. We formed with two ideas. One was that to work beyond HIV because if you see transgender work is only around HIV only, they are working beyond HIV because there are lots of work left. Until today, we started in 2015 until today also, if you see, almost 8 years, but then no work has been done beyond HIV. So we are working beyond HIV. Also, we thought of bringing the gap between trans men and trans women, the inter conflict between the two community. We thought like it's better to grow a bridge, and we start building them and get them at one table and speak about our own issue. It's not about my issue or your issue. It's about our own issue as a community. So this is the way the organization was formed. We started with small funding for mobilization activity, a seed fund, setting up the organization and all. And then we done a flagship program such as we running a shelter home in Mumbai and Delhi. Delhi was the first shelter home we started for trans men because we know trans men's visibility is very less. So services for trans men will be much lesser. So we just thought of giving a shelter because one of the problem is that trans men are major in a crisis compared to a trans woman per se from the family crisis I am talking about. So we thought of giving and we have started in 2019 at the end of the 2019. Until date we have accommodated more than give accommodation to more than 150 trans men, but supported more than 300 trans men in Delhi and NCR region through our helpline. Also, we have started a shelter home at Mumbai, which is a central ministry's Garima Greh. So we run that at Garima Greh, and there also we have people from all the subset of trans identity from across India. We have never stopped it. So it's like an integrated India in my shelter home. So it's like that. And we have helped around 60 to 69 people in Garima Greh in 1.5 years with help them to get, because this shelter is not about only shelter. It's more about making them live a dignified life. So more of a skilling, employment and all those things. We were able to give employment to around 35 people in shelter home, and giving employment is not a problem. Retaining the employment is a problem. So, but then we are touchwood, we're lucky that our retention rate is 85%. So, like none of them have left it, and we were able to also do bridging between the parents and kids. So, we were able, the kids who came to us, we were able to do a counseling to the parents. A family counseling we did it, and around 3 to 4 children are being back to their family, and the family has accepted them, and they're living very happily then. So these are the things which we like to create on. This is the area, this particular venue we are talking about. Here we have created a history here. We done a employment mela, transgender employment mela. Yeah. So we did it here in the month of March, and we have crossed 55 plus employment, only trans. It's not about LGBT, it's only trans. And all the employment was in MNC company. So it's not about local organization उठा के डाल दिया. It's not like that. So these are the work we do it. We did India's first trans men meet where 40 trans men across India came down and talk about their demands or the charter of demand. We did a youth fellowship program here. So we our programs are more aligned with the need and the time. So what is the demand? We create the program like that and we run it. So it's like so.
But it's actually very true because a lot of people have a very one-dimensional view towards the problem. But the fact that you were able to identify that the problem is instead multidimensional and also provide the same multidimensional solutions, that commendable. But moving on, so we also know that there are a lot of stereotypes, surrounding the community, especially trans people. So how do you make your way through all of those stereotypes? And also, what is one suggestion that maybe you'd like to pass on to people that by doing this, you can avoid yourself from falling into the stereotypes?
So I think the stereotypes is just learning what they get it from their parents. Peers is a different thing. Because the culture plays major role than a peer. Your upbringing plays a major role in the peer. The culture from where you come from, the religion. I'm not talking about a religion per se, but then at least the books of religion which you talk about. For me, breaking stereotype, the only way is go and talk to your midst or the blockages to the trans person and say, because we are not bad people. We are created bad. Media has created us bad. So if you see media, the films, we were initially a mimic character. Then we came to a villain character. So we were never given a very good representation in media. Even in advertisement, we are always giving a bad framework thing. If you remember, there's one of the advertisement of Make My Trip or something like that where this sister comes back and she says, Ramesh bhaiya ka hai. So the kid in the house says, वो रमेश नहीं है, रमा हो गई है. And this is very bad of portraying the community. The Starbucks thing is right now much more sensible ad we're talking about. But then the second question, what are the steps where? So when I talk in conferences and people, I always say the first fear is hijra. Because the hijra ka picturization itna weird hai na. You close your eyes and you see a villain. Either you clap very badly, they abuse you, they taunt you, chhodofai karte hain. But then my only say is, whenever you go for any place and you find hijra in signal and they clap and they say, give me 5 rupees or 10 rupees, instead of giving that, can you give water? Because you can ask, बहन पानी तो पी ले पहले. या तुमने कभी कुछ खाया है क्या? We do carry our tiffin, so anything, snacks or something like that. At least you can share that thing and then give it to that person and they say, धूप में इतने हो आप या बारिश हो रही तो आप छतरी है क्या? Something like that. When you do something, they will show you next time when you cross that signal, they will not come and ask you paisa. They will ask you, kaisi hai behan, kaise hai bhai. It's like that. This is breaking of stereotypes. My only say is go approach, talk your heart. You're not bad. The only thing which we as a trans person, be a hijra, be a trans woman, be a trans man, be any category of trans, the only thing which we lack in our life is love and care. If you show love, care, no one will be your entire imagination or the entire picturization of a trans person will start changing. So this is what I want to say.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful answer. Also, so far, how have you been liking the conclave?
I just came. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for being so honest. And also, just one last question. What does Pride mean to you?
This year I'm not celebrating Pride. I was traveling last month to South Africa and Uganda was our agenda. And on 26th of 26th of May, President of Uganda had signed the anti-gay bill, where it has been a punishable offence now. And it came from the president, so it became a part of the ruling thing. And the entire community is at a stake of risk. And it would have been only Uganda I would have understood. I'm going to say it's not Uganda. Now Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Ghana, all are following the same format now. So you can understand the situation there would be so bad. For example, like in Tanzania, still the bill have not been introduced, but then still in HIV prevention, we always say men having this sex men are the most risk area. There are 5 risk areas. So one of them are men having with men and female sex workers, transgender, IDUs. So now what they have started putting, they have changed the terminology. Men as high risk and women as high risk. So means you're tagging them. So and they are collecting these data and banging their doors saying that we know what are you doing in your house. So these are the bad things, like, once we are talking India where more liberal, anti-sexist system was decriminalized, Transgender Act came, Nalsa Judgment came, everything very smooth and simple, but then we cannot forget about neighboring countries, because we stay in the country world where we have to support with each other. So
if the government's on your side, then you know that you can actually force the other person to create a safe space, even if they don't want to do it by themselves, because the government is on my side. But if the government is actually on the opposing side, that is the end of it, for the people.
If you see, if in India, the fight of decriminalizing Section 377 started in 2001 and we got in 2016. So we also had a long fight of 15 years to 16 years. The identification of third gender, we took 75 years of independence to understand that we are part of you. So it is there, but then it's like, even when I was in South Africa, I mentioned them the best way is let our government influence your government, and like-minded government should influence your government. Where we are also stupid, we are fighting the same sex right, but then the marriage equality to be more sophisticated word we talk about, but then आनी तो कल हो जाएगा. So वो अलग बात है. हमने जब 15 साल दिए, 75 years दिए, बाकी के decisions आने में, you have to take time. They will take time to, because they also need to be conditioned about that thing. So वो है. So for me, I do I am proud and pride about the thing, but then it's not about being proud about only for 1 month.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, yeah. So you remember me in May 2024. It's not like that.
Yeah.
I am the human being. I live the day every day the same way. My pride should be the everyday business, not one day.
Even Be Unique stands for, honestly, and that's really true. Yeah. So any last comments you'd like to say or something?
Thank you for Be Unique for organizing such an innovative event. DEI Conclave is something yesterday I was in a panel and they were talking about what do you think about ERG, DEI Conclave and all. And I also, that's a graduation level course. Chota mota course kar lo, do your KG and preliminary education. But then Be Unique is really gone ahead and talked about going to a DEI and Conclave. And I'm a speaker today.
Yeah, I know that. I'll be waiting for your session. So thank you so much for joining us and being there with me. Thank you.